You know, what if one of the most famous spiritual ideas in the world is also one of the most misunderstood? Today, we're going to peel back all the layers on karma.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. When I say the word karma, what pops into your head? Is it some kind of cosmic punishment system? Or maybe a destiny that's already written in stone and you can't escape it? Or is it some magical force just keeping score? For a lot of us, yeah, it's basically cosmic payback. Like a boomerang, right? You throw something bad out there and you just know it's going to come flying right back at your head. The universal system for revenge. And then you've got the whole idea of fate, that we're all just, actors in a play that's already been written. We have no real power to change the script, whether it's a happy story or a sad one.
And of course, there's the classic image of some mystical judge, like an invisible accountant in the sky, just ticking boxes, tracking every good and bad thing you do on a giant cosmic balance sheet.
But what if all of that, the revenge, the fate, the judgment, what if that's all just one giant misunderstanding? And what if the real truth is actually way, way simpler and a lot more empowering?
So first things first, let's just clear the air. To really get what karma is, we have to start with what it is not. And this is the big one. Let's be absolutely clear here. Karma is not punishment. It is not the universe getting you back. This whole idea that bad things happen to you because you were a bad person, that's the core misconception we've got to leave behind right now.
All right, so if we've thrown out all that stuff about cosmic revenge and punishment, what are we left with? What is the actual simple truth at the heart of this whole thing? Well, the truth is, it's kind of shockingly simple. The word karma, in its original Sanskrit, literally just means action. That's it, full stop. It's not a judgment. It's just a word to describe everything we do, our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Okay, so if karma is just action, then how does that one little word turn into such a massive, life-shaping idea? Well, it all comes down to a natural law, the law of cause and effect.
So the key is to stop thinking of it like a judge and start thinking of it like gravity, right? Gravity doesn't judge you for dropping a glass. It just makes sure the glass falls. It's not personal. Karma is the exact same way. It's a neutral, totally unshakable principle that every single action creates a result. And honestly, we see this play out in our lives every single day, don't we? It's a simple input-output system. If your constant input is angry words, what's the output going to be? Your relationships are going to suffer. If the input is a constant loop of anxious thoughts, the output is a mind that feels, more anxious. This isn't magic, it's just a logical, observable chain of events.
Now, when you start to see that direct line between your actions and your results, it brings up a really big and sometimes kind of difficult idea: responsibility. And this, right here, is where a lot of us get stuck. We start to worry. Does this mean every single bad thing that's ever happened to me is my fault? The answer to that is a hard no. This is not about blaming yourself. It's not about carrying around a heavy bag of guilt for everything in your past. It's about waking up to your power in this moment, right here, right now. The past is done. The present moment, that's where your power is.
And there's a huge difference between blame and responsibility. Blame is so heavy. It's always looking backwards, stuck on that question, whose fault is this? But responsibility? That's empowering. It stands right here in the present and asks a much better question. Okay, so what's my next move?
So if our actions are actually creating our future, that means we have the power to change things, which leads to the big question, how? How do we start planting some different seeds?
Well, it's definitely not about wishful thinking. You can't just sit on the couch and hope a beautiful garden magically appears in your backyard. You change your future by getting your hands dirty, by making different choices, one at a time, starting right now.
So think about it like you're a gardener. Every single mindful action, every time you choose a kinder word when you want to snap, or you choose a different reaction, or even just take a single calm breath when you're stressed, you are planting a new seed. And over time, all those new seeds, they're going to grow into a totally different garden. But maybe the absolute best part of this whole idea is that you don't have to believe any of it. Not a word I'm saying. Instead, this is an invitation for you to become a scientist in your own life. The invitation is really simple. Don't just believe it, observe it, try it out. For the next day, or hey, even just the next hour, just watch. Notice how the tone of your voice actually changes a whole conversation. See for yourself how one anxious thought can spiral and color your entire mood. Just test it.
And this is where the real shift happens. Because when you're living unconsciously, just reacting to everything on autopilot, this whole cause and effect thing feels like fate, like something that's just happening to you. But the second you bring awareness to your own actions, you start to see the patterns, and karma stops feeling like fate and starts becoming wisdom.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. Look, you can't control everything that happens in life. We all know that. But you can always choose your next action. And that is where all of your power is.
So, we'll just leave you with that question. In every single moment of every single day, you have a choice. What seed are you going to plant next?